when the love of the game means more than the score.
It feels like a relief, like just getting in the gym and all the stress goes away.
When athletes overcome adversity.
Sometimes you have to get out there and do things that you're uncomfortable with.
Find inclusion.
It feels like a dream come true, and that like there's more supporters than I really have.
And bring communities closer together.
I think giving back to the community is the biggest win we're going to have all year long.
1, 2, 3. Tonight, we look back at the inspiring sports stories that touched our hearts for this NBC 10 special edition of Perfect 10. Hi everyone, I'm Frank Carpano, and thank you for joining us for our Perfect 10 Thanksgiving special. For the past 2 years, Sports Team 10 has been visiting schools across southern New England, telling the stories of some amazing young athletes and coaches. Whether it's overcoming an obstacle or defying the odds, both on and off the field, these stories have touched our hearts and given us something to cheer for. We introduce you to a multifaceted student athlete whose passions go far beyond the field. And the girl game is strong as female athletes find success in sports. And later, when the comeback is far greater than the setback, how a Pawtucket swimmer's life-altering experience isn't holding her back from the sport she loves. But first, we begin with a full-circle moment for a member of the Smithfield football team. At just 6 years old, he was on the sidelines serving water. But a decade later, he's the one putting on the pads. Here's Taylor Rocha.
1, 2, 3, Ryan Flynn had been here before.
It feels great. I mean, 10-0, Super Bowl champs.
In 2015, he was on the sideline when his uncle's Sentinel football team celebrated its first state title in school history.
They use the term gym rats. Well, he's a football rat.
I'd come over every day from the elementary school back there, which is now Pleasant View Elementary. A few of his players would just come and just get me right after school.
Ryan served as the team water boy, starting when he was just 6 years old.
My mom used to say, don't let him get hurt on the sideline.
I look forward during the week going to the games, just be on the field, and then especially in 2015, since they were winning a lot, it kind of just felt to me like, wow, like I wish this was me one day.
7 years later, Ryan's wish would come true in an unexpected turn of events.
Our first 3 games, we didn't score a lot of points, and then we just continued with the momentum, and then there it was. All of a sudden, we're in the Super Bowl, competing to win.
On the biggest stage of his football career, Ryan delivered. But this time around, his role was harder than hydration.
I was full-time defense and offense.
24 carries for 110 yards and a touchdown would earn the running back Super Bowl MVP honors.
Well, it means a lot because it all started on these sidelines that we're here right next to. I mean, I was 6 years old growing up on these sidelines, and then 10 years later, I'm playing on the same ones I grew up on. I tried to go out there and do the best I could do.
His best, good enough to make his childhood dreams come true.
Next, a Somerset Berkeley football player is turning a lot of heads when it comes to his performances on the football field. Yes, performances, plural, because he also knows how to put on a show. Here's NBC 10's Sam Reed.
As the sun starts to set on a Friday night, and the large lights hover over the home field at Somerset Berkeley Regional High School.
The stands are always full, you know, a lot of students show up.
The Raiders are ready to roll for Friday night football.
It's a pretty big event here now.
Wearing jersey number 7 is senior Kyle McKinnon.
When I'm on the field, that's the focus.
The starting fullback for offense and linebacker at defense doesn't really come off of the field, and I mean that in the most literal way.
Every now and again, we get somebody special that wears multiple hats.
His helmet, though, quickly comes off before kickoff.
We try our best to put on a good show.
Please direct your attention to the center of the field.
Because Kyle is also an active member of his high school's marching band. And game days are no exception.
I'm still in my football uniform, and I can just put the drum over it, go out there, go back on the field, come off when I need to, go back and play.
While Kyle plays 4 quarters of football, the national anthem is the first of 3 musical performances he takes part in.
It's like my escape from anything else in life. I can just play my music, whatever it is, and I feel like I'm in my own zone, and it's an awesome feeling.
Band director Christina Rausch and head football coach Nick Freitas have their own playbook practices and are all in when it comes to making it work.
We want to create well-rounded young adults So I think opportunities like this are great.
Opportunities to shine under Friday night lights.
It's humbling to know that so many other adults have gone out of their way to accommodate his love for both.
And after 2 quarters have passed and players make their way off of the field, Kyle gets ready to get back on it.
I know that this is a unique opportunity and not a lot of people would be willing to work around it as much as they are, and I'm really thankful for that.
It's another show, the halftime performance, and he's an integral part of this team too.
As a parent, to see so much joy in your child on a Friday night, it's just awesome.
Besides the fans in the stands and his parents, both the football players and musicians who may not have had the most in common cheer for their teammate who has made things more interesting.
So it's kind of neat. It makes a nice relationship between the football team and the band too.
And at the end of the game, regardless of the score, Kyle says he always leaves the football field on a high note.
Is that rewarding?
Absolutely. It's a great feeling. It's like all the hard work during the week pays off on Friday nights.
Reporting for Sports Team 10, I'm Sam Reed.
For so many athletes, sports is an escape from the harsh hands life has dealt us. We've met several athletes who've turned their difficult situations into success. Like Lincoln High School's Mitchell Murtha, who's leading the fight against a blood disorder he suffers from.
People with ITP, they get more tired. So I'm a little more tired than everyone else, but besides that, I'm fully fine.
And Sophia DeSanzers was playing soccer for Cranston West when a doctor's appointment changed everything. But she wouldn't let a cancer diagnosis leave her sidelined.
You don't realize how short life actually is until you're tested like that.
A transfer student from Brazil who didn't know the country or the language found he could communicate with ease on the volleyball court.
It was hard, but I like sports.
And a Rogers High School basketball player has never missed a game, even on the hardest day of her life, the day her mom passed away.
I knew I had to do it, and I knew it's what my mom wanted me to do.
More stories of inspiring athletes are still on the way here tonight. Coming up, leveling the playing field, where unified athletes got the opportunity to compete equally among their peers. Plus,
They may be getting older, but the knowledge is the same.
age is nothing but a number for this high school basketball coach. How he stays motivated at the age of 73 when we come right back. Welcome back. Inclusion is everything when it comes to school sports. That's why it was a no-brainer when the Rhode Island Interscholastic League allowed unified swimmers to compete right alongside their peers at the state championship. Taylor Rocha takes us poolside, where it was all smiles.
1, 2, 3, unify!
It was a relay where everybody won.
My son is, okay, gonna cheer up. He's on the team, and so it's a big moment for me. Yeah.
On Saturday, the Rhode Island Interscholastic League held its first relay featuring swimmers with intellectual disabilities.
Go, Matt, go!
It's cool.
It feels like an honor, and it just feels really amazing.
Josie Wagner has been swimming for 10 years. But she never imagined she would have the opportunity to compete at a championship high school meet among the best swimmers in the state.
The times that are listed, they would never meet. So to have them come to a state championship meet and swim a relay, it's very important. It shows them that they're valuable as a Rhode Island Interscholastic League athlete.
With no unified swim teams in the Ocean State,
They're treated as, any other swimmer would be treated on the teams. Athletes with special needs are more alike than different, so they should have the equal opportunity.
We never really think about it because we don't think of them, they're just part of our team, and they work just as hard, if not harder, than everybody else.
Finally granted the ability to showcase their hard work, emotions were running high.
Many of us were on the sideline and we had tears in our eyes. It was just so exciting for those kids to be able to participate in the state meet.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. It was awesome.
With the community backing their every stroke.
It feels like a dream come true, and that there's more supporters than I really have in life.
Every swimmer and spectator at Brown University's Aquatic Center experienced a win for inclusion in Rhode Island high school athletics.
It shows them that their years of hard work in the pool pays off no matter what.
I really hope that there's more fun stuff like this in the future.
In Providence, Taylor Rocha, Sports Team 10.
We've met some incredible athletes this past year, but for many, their journey wouldn't be possible without the help of some incredible coaches. Up next, we'll introduce you to a coach whose love of the game has spanned decades. And girl power, how female athletes across our region are proving time and time again they're here to play. Welcome back to our Perfect 10 Thanksgiving special. You know, they say age is just a number. Certainly is true of a 73-year-old East Providence basketball coach. Taylor Rocha shows us how he's still in the game and showing no signs of slowing down.
The saying goes, you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
He just still has it.
But Bill McHenry wouldn't have to learn anything new in his 51st year coaching at East Providence.
They may be getting older, but the knowledge is the same. The knowledge never disappears. They're still kids, and the skill levels are still the same skills.
On Sunday mornings,
he's the first one in the gym.
Bill puts his skills to the test.
I would challenge a kid to shoot, and we play for candy bars. I sometimes think they're thinking, what's a 73-year-old man gonna do? I could be their great-grandfather. Could be, with my age.
Against competition nearly 6 decades younger than him, Bill often proves that age is just a number.
When he beat me, I was like, how? Because I'm like a quarter of his age. I want to get like that and just keep having the love for the sport at that age, honestly.
Volunteering his time 6 days a week every season.
I'm just here to help. Right. You know, I always tell them, I'm not being paid to do this. So my satisfaction is your development.
Bill's passion is contagious.
Anything I do, I have a passion for. I get out of bed in the morning, I go to work, and I come here. And what a good day that is. And I go see my wife at the end.
It just shows that you got to be consistent. And for me, I take that and put it into my craft of being consistent every day and train and do whatever I have to do, even in the classroom. He gives us his all, and we try to show back to him on the court.
An East Providence basketball staple.
He's so valuable to the program. It's a perfect fit.
Bill shows no signs of stopping.
Coaching allows me to do something every day. I'm not sure what it would be like not doing it. Is that unknown?
Hopeful that more candy bars will be won along the way. In East Providence.
Well, thank you very much.
Taylor Rocha, Sports Team 10.
In the male-dominated world of sports, girls are proving they're just as good as the boys. We got to see that firsthand with female athletes across southern New England who continue to break down barriers and inspire future generations of female athletes. In Providence, a sophomore at LaSalle is turning family bonding time into a lifelong passion. Ava Georgie grew up watching her parents do CrossFit. Years later, would go on to become a top 10 youth weightlifter.
They're really surprised, they're really shocked. They think it's really impressive a lot of the time.
Mental health among athletes has been a hot topic in the headlines, and that's why the Seekonk cheerleading team is making it their mission to raise awareness.
The message we're really trying to get across is don't be afraid to reach out. Everybody is here for you. You're really not alone.
The Cranston West girls basketball team decided to team up off the court, collecting Christmas gifts and donating them to the community.
Even though not all of us may have so much extra money where we can, it's important to us to be able to, and I think it shows a lot of character.
And it's a family affair for two sisters running track in West Warwick.
I love running with Lisa. She pushes me to my full potential.
And the most prestigious honor in high school sports, the Gatorade Player of the Year, was given to an almost 6-foot-tall girls basketball player at St. Ray's, who can't help but stand out on and off the court.
I really wasn't trying to build a legacy. I was just trying to win.
When you think of high school wrestling, you probably don't expect to see many girls on the mat. But that's not the case in Scituate. Despite it being one of the smallest schools in Rhode Island, Scituate wrestling is living proof girls wrestling is on the rise. Here's Taylor Rocha.
When Maura Pendergast came to her first wrestling practice at Scituate High School, she kept it from her parents.
I knew they were going to be against, having their baby girl on the mat.
I always get asked the same question, do girls have to wrestle the boys? It makes parents very nervous, it makes students very nervous. And the answer is yes, girls have to wrestle the boys. The thing about wrestling is best person wins, not best man, not best woman.
Maura was inspired to try out the sport by her friend Daisy Brooks, who had already caught the wrestling bug.
Once one girl signs up, everyone else wants to. I was trying to get all my friends into it because I loved it so much that I just wanted everyone else to do it too.
Although Maura admits she came into the sport a bit intimidated.
They welcomed me with open arms.
At her first wrestling practice, it was love at first pin.
Wrestling is different than any other sport. I've played plenty, and it's something about, you may not win on the mat, but you were winning as a person, and it's just so rewarding.
We try to teach wrestling mirrors life. You work harder than somebody else. You meet whatever challenges in front of you. And we try to do that here in our room. We don't take excuses. No matter what it is, boy, girl, you wrestle who's in front of you.
On a co-ed team,
we keep the boys in line, obviously.
Going up against the boys.
We don't go easy on them.
The girls earn more than medals.
I definitely have to gain a lot of confidence from wrestling, even on and off the mat.
In just the program's 4th year at Scituate, a state championship has already been won.
Student athletes like to win. And we are a winning program.
But banners aren't what makes this team most proud.
It's probably one of my favorite things about the school, that there are so many girls coming out and beating other guys, It's a really good thing.
As inclusivity makes the team stronger together.
It kind of ups the intensity that we have in practice when the girls come in with that intensity of wanting to beat the boys because they feel like they have to prove something.
The Spartans hope that they can inspire more girls to get on the mat.
If you're a girl thinking of joining, just do it. It's the best thing. It's changed my life. It really has.
We're not done yet. Up next, a comeback story for the ages. When a rare pediatric stroke sidelined a swimmer, she just kept on swimming. How she's using the sport she loves to help heal. Finally tonight, a comeback story that's sure to inspire. A girl from Pawtucket who was only in 3rd grade when she suffered a stroke while swimming. But she didn't let it stop her from sticking with a sport she's loved her entire life.
Emma McPherson will never forget the first time she dove into a pool.
It felt like I was finally me, swimming just felt like me, my passion.
At just 3 years old, Emma's swim career was born.
I was swimming mostly 5 days a week, Monday through Friday.
I feel that it's her safe place.
When Emma was 8 years old, her safe place would become dangerous when she suffered a stroke in the water.
I felt tingliness throughout my right side of my body, and I knew something was wrong with me.
A blood clot would block the flow of blood and oxygen to the child's brain, leaving her right side paralyzed.
I couldn't speak.
What would you have wanted to say in that moment?
I'm not feeling okay. Something's wrong with me. I don't know what it is.
The following 27 hours were terrifying for Emma's family. The elementary schooler unresponsive, a mother fearing that her daughter may never recognize her again.
She didn't respond to my voice, or she didn't seem like she knew who we were until that one day that she just, smiled.
That smile would mark the start of Emma's road to recovery.
We had her back, we had Emma back, but there's going to be a long, recovery for her, a long road ahead of us, but at least I knew she was still Emma.
Emma would spend nearly 2 months at Spaulding Rehabilitation Center in Boston, relearning how to walk, talk, and perform everyday tasks with her non-dominant hand.
She struggled just to stand up at a table. She would cry, but we don't know why.
Emma longed to return to the place where she felt most like herself, the place where her life was nearly taken from her just weeks before.
I knew that they had a pool and I wanted to try it out.
Her mother didn't need words to understand her daughter's wish.
She just loves being in the water, and I knew that if they were going to get anything out of her therapy sessions, that it would be in the water.
Before even regaining the ability to walk, Emma would return to her safe space.
With one arm and one leg and one side paralyzed, she just started swimming.
While the reason for Emma's rare pediatric stroke remains a mystery.
I think I wouldn't feel happy if I don't swim in life.
She has never let fear keep her from making a splash.
Emma's a testament that you can overcome anything no matter what if you put your mind to it.
Today, Emma is a senior captain on her high school swim team, inspiring others with every stroke.
Sometimes you have to get out there and do things that you're uncomfortable with, and do things that is hard to do.
In Pawtucket, Taylor Rocha, Sports Team 10.
Thank you so much for joining us for our Perfect 10 Thanksgiving special. We hope you've been inspired as much as we have here at NBC 10 by all the stories of perseverance, hope, and hard work of the local athletes in our communities. Catch Perfect 10 Stories Friday nights on NBC 10 News at 7. From all of us here at NBC 10, thank you for watching and happy Thanksgiving.